Hi, I'm Dave Barnes.
And I'm John McLaughlin.
And welcome to Dadville.
Dadville is a podcast where we talk about life, love, and the pursuit of awesome dadding.
It's funny thoughts and deep talks.
So please, enjoy your time here in Dadville and enjoy this episode with Emerson Hart.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Global superstar and comedy sensation Kevin Hart returns for his 5th Netflix special, Acting My Age.
I'm not the same man that I used to be. I go down the stairs sideways. Go ahead, you in a rush? Go around.
With a fresh perspective on life, family, and getting older.
Older you get, the less you can have. Is there sesame seeds on that bun? Get it out of here!
Kevin's bringing his signature high-energy humor and physical comedy in a true return to his stand-up origins. Watch Kevin Hart, Acting My Age, now streaming only on Netflix.
Folks, with us today, we have one of my favorite people, one of my favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
come on.
No, I'm not backing off of that. Emerson Hart. And here's are you ready? I'm going to read this because I'm kind of proud of this.
Mm-hmm.
Today on Dadville.
What, that you can read now? Or?
Well, it's both. Well,
okay.
This is actually in Spanish, so I'm real-time translating.
This bio is so good, Dave's proud of it. It's not even his.
Ronald McDonald was a fictional character.
Though haunted the nightmares of many children in the 80s. Today on Dadville, we're joined by a guy whose voice and songs helped define a decade of alt rock, Emerson Hart. Born in Washington, Pennsylvania, and raised in Jersey. Emerson found his way into music early, and in 1993 co-founded the band Tonic with Jeff Russo. The band's debut, Lemon Parade, went multi-platinum, spent more than a year on the Billboard 200, and gave us the massive, massive hit, If You Could Only See, one of the most played rock songs of the 90s. Over the years, Tonic has sold millions of records, earned 2 Grammy noms, and released a string of albums: Lemon Parade, Sugar, Head On Straight, and Tonic, which I have all of those records and listen to them still to this day. Plus the fan-funded Lemon Parade Revisited, which was cool. All of that song acoustic, such a cool thing. And their most recent single, To Be Loved. Beyond the band, Emerson's carved out a great solo career, from Cigarettes and Gasoline to Beauty and Disrepair, 32,000 Days, and his latest EP, Past Conversations and Future Rooms. He's even picked up an ASCAP award for writing the theme to American Dreams, which I didn't know, and co-written hits for other artists like Ingram Hill. These days, he's out playing his own shows with Tonic, and with Ezra Ray Hart, a kind of 90s super trio with Kevin Griffin from Better Than Ezra and Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, bringing all these anthems to new crowds. Folks, Emerson Hart.
Wow, dude. You're like my West Wing writer. I want to bring you on.
Listen,
Good God
Aaron
Almighty,
Sorkin,
man.
where are you, Aaron Sorkin? So here you are, all these years playing these songs. What when you hear that, how do you feel?
I mean, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I made some sort of an impact, and that's. I mean, well, you know what I'm saying?
And these are dying days.
Yeah, I mean, especially in our business now, and when I'm around younger artists, this is a conversation that I had with my wife literally last night. We were sitting on the couch, and we were finishing up the Diplomat, which is a show I've been obsessed with.
Bro.
Cannot stop watching.
We're 4 shows in the new season.
Yeah. Okay. So I finished out the season because I have a problem with addiction.
Yep.
And so
let's just bookmark that. Keep going.
We'll come back to that.
We can put a thumbtack in that one. And we were talking. I was going through my phone because she got up and she got a snack, and I was going through my phone, and I was realizing that when I was going through like the People magazine feed, I don't know who any of those people are.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's arrived.
Yeah.
I have arrived at that point in my life where I'm like, mother, who's that? I mean, that is what
You're
happened.
calling your wife mother.
Yeah. Mother. But,
let's also bookmark that.
yeah, she'd definitely kill me if I ever called her that. She'd be like, you can sleep outside in the rain.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like, so to hear, that I've done things and that I'm still doing things. Mark McGrath and I joke about it all the time. It's like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
That we're still 30 plus years out here doing it. And I'm still gone on the weekends and doing that stuff. And man, how lucky am I? Like, I'm just so lucky to be able to do that.
So, I wanted to talk about this, and we'll just jump into this now. How do you? So something that I I was talking to a good friend about the other day, and I thought this was a profound take. I really do feel like I needed to hear this, but he's our age, and we were just kind of talking about being in your 40s for me and my buddy in the industry, and he was like, Dave, I just think I'm trying to get into a season where I'm more acting appropriate to my age in this industry than trying to act like I'm still 25 or 30. And I think, in a job that we have where, Peter Pan, his story is sort of the narrative for a lot of artists. Like, no, you just stay forever young, I just felt this weird release when he said that. He was like, what does it look like for, me being 47? He's like, what does it look like for us to act the age we are and move through the industry and our jobs that way, than this pull to kind of like, well, what's everybody doing? What's the trend that we should be doing? Or how is people doing the music? And it just was like, I just think I needed to hear that. It's almost like I needed to have someone give me permission to sort of be like, hey, like you can still do it at your age in a really wonderful way. Because I can feel in me this natural pull toward, well, what are those guys and girls doing? What are those bands doing? And is that working or not?
Well, it feels like there's not that middle ground. Like the 40s are weird because you look at whatever is happening in sort of like what's hot, the mainstream, you've got that piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And then you have the like Elton John and Billy Joel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That middle ground is like, it's sort of like no man's land in there. I don't know what's happening. But it feels like there's a switch where like you focus on the former until a certain point, and then all of a sudden you have permission where you can focus on the latter. And then,
there's not a grace. But it's funny. I remember and I remember calling you. God, it's been like a long time ago. We sat down and we had this conversation then. And so I think I looked
8 years ago.
Yeah, and I remember like I've always thought of you as this person I have so much admiration for because you've had such a successful year. You're still having a successful year. You're enjoying it. And so I think you are like one of the few people that when I sort of look through the haze, I'm like, I just feel like Emerson is doing it in the way that feels so appropriate to his life and where he is. And so like, how do you think about that? Like,
I mean, I think, it's funny when you address yourself as like, I am an elder statesman of rock and roll. That's what it is, and that's okay. Like Edwin McCain and I had this. I'm not name dropping, but Edwin is one of my dearest friends, and we had this conversation probably 6 months ago. And he called me, and another friend of ours was having a problem, and he was like, "Dude, if you ever see me having that problem, you need to come up, touch me on the shoulder, and give me a kiss. Like, it's over. Like, I know it's done." And I was like, dude, I will absolutely. As a friend, I expect the same. And then I started talking about him, like, because I don't dye my hair. Like, I just don't. And a lot of guys do. And it works for some people. And I don't care either way. But for me, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was talking to Edwin about it because we're both pretty gray. And he was like, dude, who are you fooling? Like, you're not fooling anybody.
Yeah.
So getting to that age where you're just like, man, I kind of just want to be okay with who I am.
Yeah.
And that's
the perk of getting older.
Is it though? I mean, I hope so. I think that it's hard in our industry because we get caught looking sideways and trying to chase things that just we have no business chasing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just ridiculous. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your family's time. It takes time away from that, which really, I mean, I don't know if you heard, like Billy Corgan was talking about this the other day. I saw him talking about just the futility of success, and really the only thing that's been consistent in his life are his kids and his family. And that, coming from him, he's a sad sack. Like that guy, like he truly is. And I mean, I don't mean it, but he's womp womp. I mean, he's super down. But to have that kind of, I don't think you can get to that knowledge without getting through the years of our careers. And being okay with it. And you make your own relevance, really.
I just think that now that I have kids of my own, one of the like common themes of parenting and raising these two girls is seeing them fight against who they are. Like they have who they are at home, and then they go out into the world and they go to school, and it's so tough, and I feel for them. And you see all these kids, them and their friends, slightly altering themselves to conform to some sort of like unspoken, unified character so that they all can be accepted. And I feel like at this side of it, at 43, I'm like, I don't know how long it took me to get here, but one of the perks that you eventually try to grab onto in age is, I feel like I can finally just be myself now and be okay with whatever impact that has on the world. And the people that I admired when I was younger were the people who got that the quickest,
Yeah, those are cool people. Being one of the uncool people, like it's taken me a while to get there, and I think this a lot of that is based on just pure insecurity, which is like a disease in our industry.
Yeah,
right.
And it fuels a lot of great songs, though.
It does fuel great songs. I know.
It's the kindling for some super hits.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had this conversation that turned into kind of an argument with an artist who I will not name, but he was just talking about like, I'm doing the best work of my life, and he's sober now, and that's good for him because he was really bad. But I'm just like, are you though? I mean, really. I mean, let's look back in history. Like some of the greatest records were not made by sober people. No offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but you go through that period. Like I know I didn't make my greatest work when I was, clear thinking and on top of my game.
Yeah.
No, I was broken. That's when my great stuff happened.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's when all the great stuff happens. I'm not saying go out of your way to get hit by a bus, but
Right.
Definitely
you
true.
know, let's get a little perspective.
Yeah.
It's okay to
Yeah.
be sober because you want to be a better father, or you want to be a better husband, you
Yeah.
want to live a longer life.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But if it's not your bag and you want to, if you're at the bottom and you want to keep on digging, that's your call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't tend to go well, but it makes some great music.
Yeah.
You know something you said earlier that I love, and I think it really needs to be lauded, and I think it is. I would imagine it has to do with some of your ability to think so clearly about it. Is I think you having the community of friends you have that are artists that are around your age, I just think is such a big deal. Something that I've sort of clocked in myself. Some of the craziest that I feel is if I've had like a bunch of days where I'm writing with younger people, I will notice that I just like my left eye is a little twitchy, my hands are a little shaky. I'm a little like, should we be doing other things? And he's like, what does that even mean? I'm like, just like other stuff. Should we buy stuff or something? Or should I sell some things or something? Because, you get in enough of those rooms, or, you bump into a good friend who's 27 at, Fenwick's, and they're like, you're like, what are they doing? Like, bro, I mean, dude, so I just did this thing, and then this guy did a thing, and we did, and then they opened and then I wrote with the thing, and we got back from the Grammys, and you're like, and you just feel your heart rate, and it's like, it's just, and I think I finally had the wisdom to realize that these moments that I have that feel like these catharsis moments of like, I kind of come home and Annie can see it in my eyes. She's like, who'd you see? Where you been? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, but it's and those are wonderful. And that's not to say I don't do them. I love doing them. But I need so badly to be around my friends that are closer to my age that do this, because it's just, I have the opposite feeling leaving there. I feel so grounded. I feel like when I get to talk to John or Wirtz or whoever, that I go, oh man, this is who I am. This is the age that I am. This is the season of life I'm in. And I think you being able to talk to Edwin, or you, like the guys, in Emerson Hart, that you can go, yeah, these are my people. You know what I mean when I go, hey, I did this and it happened. They're like, oh yeah, that happened to me last month. And you're like, okay, good. Whereas, again, I love doing this. A huge part of my life is spending time with younger artists. But like, I just forget I just get caught up in the whole thing, where they're like, well, we did this. We noticed it. If you'll go do this and you do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I should do those things. I'm not doing the things, And so I think there's something that's so amazing about you and your friend group, that you can have this relatable thing. You share these things. You get so much like clarity from it,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, we are, like I said, it's, it's the elder statesman thing that happens. But also, you learn from watching, and you also, the older you get, everybody's like, you just really got to cull your friend group and like, pull out the people that aren't good. And it's you don't need to do that. It just happens.
Yeah, it's what it does it now.
I mean, people just kind of fall out of your life, and if they fell out of your life, then that means that they just can't. You don't belong there anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
What are the patterns you see of, because again, I see this happening so much at my age, but I would what do you see the patterns of your friends and what y'all are navigating now in this industry? Like, what are the things you find yourself thinking about? What are the conversations you find that y'all are having that may be new in this season?
There's a couple things. Number one, probably just with the development of the chat GPTs and things like that. I was in a session, which I will not say, because I don't do a lot unless I'm inspired to go out and really chase writing songs.
Yeah.
Like I just don't do it. I was in a session and somebody pulled that out and started like looking for lyrics and using it and asking stuff. And I went,
oh, wow.
I thought I was having a stroke. Like
wow.
I looked around the room and I was like, wait, is this really happening right now? Like, are we creating or is that creating?
Right.
And they were like, is this a tool? I was like, well, so is a handgun, but that doesn't mean I'm going to pull it out in a session.
Right.
Like, geez, man. I mean, like, what are we doing? Like, are we creating here or are we, what's happening?
Yeah.
You know? And
yeah, I would have felt the same way.
I haven't seen
but
that
it
yet.
happens.
Am I right?
It happens.
I'm
And
sure
I was like, dinosaur finds rocket. Like I could not, my brain could not.
Can we start that band?
Yeah. Let us do it. Let us do it.
Dinosaur finds rocket.
But that's what it's like, because for me, a guy who is trying to come from what's going on in your life?
Yeah.
How do you feel as an artist? What's making you up? What's making you down? Just asking about, like, let's hold hands and walk that road together.
Yeah.
I don't care what that thing has to say.
Yeah, right.
And probably secondly, I've really seen the importance of maintaining your health to continue to perform live. That is the future for SRA Hart, for Tonic, for my solo brand like that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't, other than the weird hologram things that I'm starting to see get developed in our business, which will be the future probably 10 years away. I don't think there's another way. There will be a way to make a decent living unless you're still healthy to perform live.
Yeah.
Because people want to be in the room. They always want to be in the room. Like I saw there's this box they're creating that I think it was like Tommy Stinson or Jewel. It was one of them, and it was like in an airport. And it was like them playing a song on acoustic guitar, but it's a hologram of them. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are they going to take live away too?
Crazy.
Like what is going to happen?
Yeah.
But what's happening is they're going to develop when all these bands die. They're going to come back. They're not going to be dead.
Yeah.
And it's
which feels like something out of Spinal Tap.
It really does. And I can see the quirky fun thing about that, like going to a bar and you're like, we're going to go see Elvis, and everybody's having fun, but it's just a hologram of Elvis. Like, I get all that.
Yeah.
But you want to be in the room, with the artist and see that thing. I want to see that thing.
Yeah.
So those are my two things. It's the technology coming into sessions of people talking about writing lyrics or songs being created out of this chat GDP, whatever you want to call it. And then secondly, just maintaining, a guy who's, in his 50s, maintaining your health so you can continue to be a artist who doesn't cheat on his gift, stays healthy, gets out there and puts on a great show, with no, we're like the last band. I'm not against bands that use tracks, but like we don't. And people are like, well, you could probably add some cues in there and some tracks. I'm like, no, but then I can't stop and then say, let's do a different song, or I can't slow down. Yeah. I can't speed up.
Feel how
it's
the
not
night's
a
going.
like living, breathing
It's not
thing.
a living, breathing thing. And that's being a kid who grew up in theater, like that for music is what it is for me. Music is that just funky, green, moldy, edgy thing that just comes up that is something that is uniquely us as human beings. That's ours. That belongs to us. That is something that is us 100%. So those
It's
are the
something
two
that you're
things.
experiencing in the room with somebody.
You are, and it could be terrible. I mean, you could be watching a show and being like, oh my God, I feel so uncomfortable. This is really bad. But it's happening.
Yeah.
And it's real, and that,
there for it.
I'm here for all that stuff.
Yeah.
That to me. So I just try to do my best, cut back on my wine consumption.
Yeah.
And just stay the course to try to stay healthy. And,
Well, your music, too, is so dynamic. It's not, when I think of the way that you write songs, it's not, it's like, it's very active. It's a dynamic thing. Mm-hmm. Like, so I could see how you got to stay in shape, because it's not like, where did we go? It's not gonna work.
So how do you do that? What are the things that you do, both with like your songwriting and like becoming inspired, staying inspired, or whatever, and also the actual like, how do you stay in shape with your voice and all that kind of stuff? And what have you tried over the years?
I mean, obviously warm-ups, warm-downs. So
you still do that?
I still warm up and warm down. If I'm on a straight run, like this Emerson Hart tour that's coming up, it's almost 30 shows. Like that's
Jeez Louise.
So that's 2 buses, that's full sleep, that's warming up in the morning and slowly doing it all day, and then doing the show, then getting off stage, and then warming it down, and then going to bed. So in the morning, my voice is ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, the usual Weekend Warrior deal, I can do a short banger 30 minutes before I'm on, stay hydrated, sing the show, get off, and do a little warm down, but not much, because I know that I'm not going to be in the game for another 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And naturally, your body will just reset itself with muscle memory. So I think staying in shape with that, just keeping your instrument flexible, not talking like this all the time. So you wear that one tread and you have to always be talking like this and making your voice go up and down, and which is an old theater trick I learned when I was a kid. But
that's interesting.
Secondly,
that's interesting.
That's interesting.
I remember I had a professor in college who also taught voice, and I had never thought about this before then, but she was like, a lot of, especially men, talk at like the bottom of right there. With
it's a range burner.
Yeah, and she's like, you really should be talking like up here. And when I talk up here, I can feel it's less strain on my vocal cords.
It is, yeah.
But I just, if I started a new life
that's
somewhere
a great
else,
point. I love that you said that. Continue with others.
Oh, God. And second is just staying physically active. I mean, I'm a dad. I have an 18-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, and I have a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old son. So I am busy.
Gosh,
I am real busy.
You have no problem with steps.
No problem with getting my steps in. I live in a 200-year-old house. I'm up and down steps all the time. I'm always outside cleaning up property and doing that. And I walk a good bit. And my doctor was really, I've had the same practitioner since I've lived here, since it's my 25th year in Nashville.
Wow.
And he is always like, dude, after 50, light weights and walk.
Yeah.
Walk everywhere. Walk as much as you can. The guy who walks the farthest is the guy who lives the longest.
Wow.
He goes, if you're out there trying to keep up with the kids and running 5 miles, you'll get new knees.
Yeah.
You'll get new knees. You'll get new elbows.
God, that sounds like a disease. New knees.
New knees. New knees.
Yeah, sorry to say you'll have new knees.
Yeah, which is the posthumous nunis, which is the Latin, which comes from. Yeah, so I just walk a lot. I try to row crew if I can. I mean, I was going to Soho and using their gym a bunch, but like I can't park there.
Oh, bro,
it's so bad down there. Headache. Our city is like growing so fast. The only thing that really has happened in the city in the past 5 years that I love is that Pastis showed up.
Oh,
like
I know.
When I lived in the city in New York, that was
in
the meatpacking district. It was my favorite restaurant. And
has it been around that long? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I was always in and out of the city. Until my stepfather died a few years ago, we always had the place in Chelsea. So we kept that place. But then when he passed, it was just like, I saw what it would take to keep a pre-war rent-controlled apartment in the center of Chelsea, like a 2-bedroom. And they were like, well, you'll have to start paying city tax. You'll have to start paying New York state tax. And I was like, I don't love New York that much.
Yeah.
I could always fly up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just try to do that. Just easy, lightweight training, rowing crew,
Dadville is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holiday season is here, which I love, and it always gets me thinking about traditions. And one of the traditions that my family has, we do a thing called the memory jar, where every year everybody goes around the table and we write down a new memory and we put it in the jar along with all the other memories from years past. And then we get them all out and we read all the memories and we're all laughing hysterically and crying a little bit. And it's just the best. And maybe, it's because shared experiences is a great way to remind us of how much we need each other. And another great tradition that maybe we all could start is ensuring that we take the time for ourselves during what can be a very joyful, but sometimes a really lonely time of year. Incorporating therapy into your holiday tradition can be a real difference maker, and BetterHelp is a great place to start. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 12 plus years of experience means they typically get it right the first time. But if you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time, no questions asked. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. So this December, start a new tradition by taking care of you with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/dadville. That's betterhelp.com/dadville.
You know how every year there's that one holiday moment that becomes a family favorite, like showing up to a Christmas dinner and bringing a dish that turns out to be the hit of the night? That's what could happen if you bring Omaha Steaks, you guys, because nothing says I love you and also please invite me back next year like showing up with the world's best steaks. From holiday hosting to those unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. You can gift family and friends USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy comfort meals, and so much more. And right now, during their Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our friends get an extra $35 off with the promo code FUN at checkout. There's nothing like receiving a gift of Omaha Steaks. Everything shows up perfectly packed, super convenient, and the flavor, exceptional. Their filet mignons are unreal, USDA certified, very tender, and every order is backed by their 100% guarantee. They've been America's original butcher since 1917, a family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise, and you taste that care in every bite. It's not just steaks, burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, dessert, they've got everything. So save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, just use the promo code FUN at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, and the code is FUN.
I think that is one of the things that I probably dislike the most about our job is how it's so easy, I think, to see somebody sing and be like, oh, you just like get up there and rock the mic. And we all know people that can do that, and I hate them and love them for it.
Of course.
That's so just amount of anger it makes me have for those people. But I think for most of us, it's like it's such an act. You wouldn't think by watching someone sing that like, well, that's a very active, engaging thing. Like, and it takes, especially as you get older, things to get it to where it needs to be for that night. And I think there's nothing that sort of angers me more maybe about the profession or about the performance part of our job is that if any slight thing happens in my head with my nasal cavity or allergies or a slight cold, that night feels really different singing. And I'm having to, where am I? Where's my voice? Can it do that right now? Do I need to change keys of the song? Can I even hit those? I hate that so much. I hate that I can't just get up.
You want to be
sing.
in the moment. You just want to be in the moment.
But instead, I'm going, shoot, is that song going to sound right tonight?
Yeah, do we need to change the set list?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you because I have no control over that. Like, if I just wake up with a cold in Denver, it's like, well, here goes tonight. What's this going to be like? It drives me crazy. It's like one of my least favorite things. But to your point, there are things we can do. But God, I hate that about what we do.
I know. Well, I mean, it's an instrument. I mean, it's you might have a Honda with 300,000 miles on it, but there's probably a hole in the floor. So you gotta it'll get you there, but you really gotta take care of the instrument.
It's so true,
and that's okay. And I have learned through many years of just not paying attention. I used to smoke a ton of cigarettes like it was my job. I was like Bob Fosse smoking, in the shower. Like awful, just awful. Anybody. And God. Now when we used to tour, we used to smoke on airplanes. That's how long ago that was.
Yeah, crazy.
And I think about that now, and I'll smell some guy or girl who's been hotboxing at BNA, and they're sitting next to me in the airplane. I'm like, this is my penance for doing this to people for so many years. And I'll sit there and I'll take it. I'll be like, Lord, I understand what you're trying to teach me here, and I appreciate it. And
there's no part of you that likes the smell at all. It's immediately repulsive.
No, well, on clothing, yes, repulsive.
Yeah.
The only time, and you can ask any ex-smoker this, and the only time that a cigarette smells amazing is when it's fall, you're stepping out of a pub, you have a beer in your hand, and somebody lights up a cigarette. That first pull wafts like the Bugs Bunny smoke finger, and it goes up your nose and out the other side, and you go, I could probably have a cigarette, but you can't. This is the trick. You can't.
That's the height of it right there. It's only going to get worse.
It only gets worse because I know for me as an ex-smoker, I'm one puff away from a pack a day. I know that.
Wow.
Yeah. I know that. I can go from, John Candy to David Bowie real fast. I could smoke myself thin if it was needed. I could literally just smoke myself down to 160.
Smoke myself thin.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you quit smoking, you're like, well, that's funny.
Yeah.
You're like, why am I eating so much? But
my dad used to smoke back in, I barely even remember. I don't know if I actually even have a memory of him smoking, but he smoked when I was really, really, really young. Mm-hmm. And to this day, if I give somebody a hug and they're wearing a leather jacket and it has a little bit of smoke, I immediately get this sensory memory of being a kid hugging my dad.
Now, see, that's like a beautiful thing. That's.
But to your point, that's the height of it. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't go.
If I went and bought a pack of cigarettes and ate the whole pack to get more of that memory, it would just be awful.
Isn't it amazing? I know it's kind of off topic, but how strong our olfactory recall for memory is. I can walk in a basement and get that smell, and I'm like, oh, I'm 6 years old at my grandparents' mansion in Ohio, and I can smell the coal dust in the ground. It's such a strong thing. Or you'd be walking down the street and you'd be like, there goes my first girlfriend. I can smell her walking by, and then your wife looks at you and you're like, I was thinking about something else. I don't know what you're talking about. Or you're in a relationship, in your marriage, and you'd be like, do you like this perfume? You're like, no, don't buy that.
Yeah, don't buy that one.
Don't.
No. It's not going to work for us.
Shelly, Shelly. What did I say, Shelly? What? No, I don't like it. Annie, sorry.
Speaking of smoking on planes, I don't know if you're going someplace different.
No, you go.
Can we just talk about the 90s for a second?
Yes.
I had this in my notes. I wanted to start talking about the 90s a bit. When I sort of signed my first record deal and was doing the whole radio tour, for those who don't know, you make a record, you pick a single, and then for the next 18 months, you live in radio stations.
Oh, yeah.
Go into radio stations, multiple radio stations a day. And everybody, every program director, every DJ, all they talked about was the glory days of the 90s. I mean, for them, it was if you could somehow have been in the music business in the 90s, that was when it was just a string of green lights for everyone. And then, I don't know, maybe Napster happened and then things started to fall apart in their eyes. And then here you are. You were top. I mean, not only were you a part of the 90s, you were defining a sound in the 90s. Mm-hmm. What was the when you think of the 90s now, what are some of the immediate sort of things that come back to you aside from smoking on planes?
Yeah. Well, honestly, no cell phones. So there was. You used to be able to, and I'm not trying to tie cigarettes back in here, but I would get out of sound check and I would go sit and just look at the river.
Yeah.
And smoke a cigarette.
Yep.
And not have my face buried in my phone. Nobody was able to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
Although cell phones were great in the way that everybody stopped getting the flu all the time from truck stop phones that we all had to use.
Oh, gosh.
So when like somebody would be like, and then the next morning everybody's in bed like Charlie Bucket's Grandpa Joe, like shaking in your pajamas. But so I miss that distraction being taken away from the 90s.
Yeah.
I miss the kind of gatekeepers that the 90s had to a certain extent. Radio programmers and people that were just way cooler. And just kind of were able to like navigate loud. This is what it is, not to throw out the Lester Bangs of the world, but like those guys,
Yeah.
And I think that there were quite a few of those people coming up early in my career, like, having lunch with Ahmet Erdogan and like listening to stories about Led Zeppelin and like just guys like that. That was really
everybody
cool.
in the 90s, was it the same experience that I had? Were all of them talking about the 80s? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because I think the 80s really got brushed because of hair bands, because of stuff that just wasn't great. At least in the 90s, we were all talking about the 70s.
Yeah.
And that, Scott Weiland from STP, man, he wanted to be David Bowie. That was his whole thing. And man, he's one of the greatest front men I've ever seen perform. Like still to this day, like that was such a loss when he died.
One of my favorite LA moments, and this was so random. Remember when Hodges would host those things at his house out in LA?
Right.
And story things. David and I text that day. I was in LA, and he's like, "Dude, come to one." And he's like, "It's tonight." So I show up, and Scott randomly got up and played a couple songs, and it was just like one of my favorite moments of my life. He did Plush, and then they did maybe like a newer tune, but I was just like, what a talent. Yeah. And to be, it was David's house, so it's in the living room. There's like 50 of us in there.
It was amazing. He had a great space out there. Really had a great space.
So cool.
I'm glad I convinced him to come to Nashville, but I mean, Scott, when Scott was on top of his game,
jeez Louise,
he was like an engine that ran on lightning. Like, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was insane to watch. He would be sick as a dog backstage in the shows that we did together over the years in the 90s. He would just be like, have a hoodie on, be tired. And then he would come out on stage like he was on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, just out like a snake, like sliding. And we would just sit there being like, wow, that's what a rock star is.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and I knew I would never be that because I'm just not that guy.
Yeah, right.
But I had such enormous respect for it. So 90s, I think rock stars were able to be rock stars, and I'm not excusing bad behavior in there.
Right.
Like, there was a lot of stuff that a lot of people did that was not good, and it bit them in the ass appropriately later on down the road. But there just was a certain amount of Hunter S. Thompson kind of wild West thing about it that we don't have anymore. Like, who are our Hunter S. Thompsons?
Yeah. Well,
who are our Scott Weilands?
You know what I think about with that time? And I think it's like, to me, music for so long sort of had a cast of characters, right? And every genre sort of was like, here's who's on stage, here's like who's in the play. And we'll always kind of have the guy that's the lead, and that's going to shuffle through over the years. But that role will always be filled by somebody. The girl that lives next to it, whatever those characters were, you sort of knew, like, oh, that's the band that's like this now. That's the guy that's like this. Here's the girl. And so you kind of knew, like, that's what they are, and like Tonic was up there for a while. And you're like, oh, that's like the melodic but kind of Zeppelin leaning great hits. Okay, cool. STP is going to be like the kind of left-leaning, what the hell's going on, but it's cool and I'm into it. And then, Buckley for a minute is up there and you're like, oh my God, here's this. But, whatever they were, it was like, that's, and so I know as I'm thinking about it as a fan of music, I'm like, oh, here's all the people, And I think that's what I miss sometimes the most is that feeling of like, man, it's just, there's so many people on the stage now. And even in our world, when John and I were coming up, like the singer-songwriters, it was like, oh, yeah, here's each of those guys and girls and this is what they're doing. And I think, and I'm all for everybody being able to create. That's not at all what I'm saying now. But I think maybe this makes me a dinosaur. I just kind of miss knowing like, oh, I kind of know what's going on because I can kind of see, he's the new this and she's the new that. And they're amazing at it and they're the new this band. Mm-hmm. But now it's just so much of it that I'm like, I don't even know how to parse out what's what anymore,
Yeah,
and maybe people in the 90s felt that way about the 80s, whatever. I don't think there's anything new.
I don't think we did. I think we just all were just trying to survive and do our thing and do it the best way we could do it. And, we had a blast doing it.
Yeah.
I feel so fortunate that I was the last generation of rock bands that could sell records. Do that thing and how lucky are we? But I will say this, when you talk about the landscape and changing, like the first time I saw you was at Soil Dove in Denver. I think we did a show. It was a radio show. I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I immediately loved how connected you were to your instrument, how you were connected to your voice. You could tell the story through the song. And at that point, I was like Cigarettes and Gasoline. I had released my first solo record. And that was inspirational to me, which was a landscape change for me coming from a band to doing that thing. And it was the same with you. And I always viewed you guys, Wirtz, in the world of like Scrappy Young, just kind of like how we're going to do it at a house party, man. And like you were so much and I was just like, oh, that's how do you make that work? Do we call my manager to make that work? And you were just like, no, man, just go do it. It's like, okay, so
you call your manager to make that work?
Should I call your manager?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying, like that. It's a different thing. So
sort of gorilla.
Yeah. So I was, even though in the 90s. It was that thing, but then in the 2000s it became something else, but was still cool.
Yeah. What was it like when you think about, y'all's records, I forgot to intro this, but one of my favorite nights in Nashville, genuinely, was they let me put a round together for 10 Pan South. And I was like, okay, I don't know who the fourth is going to be, but it has to be Kevin and it has to be Emerson because this is Selfish Dave night and I don't care. Mm-hmm. This is who's going to be in the round. And I just remember we did it at the old listening room, packed house. And Charles, remember, was the fourth.
I remember
Kelly.
that. We had a vest off. We were both wearing vests.
Yeah, we were both wearing vests. I can't believe you remember that. Yeah. But there's a picture that I've forever cherished because somebody took it that night, and it's me playing, and it's just perfect because Kevin is leaning in and you're leaning in, and I'm playing. And it's like two of my idols are in this round with me. And I just remember that night being like, if nothing comes of my career, but that I get to be in a round with these guys who are playing songs that I grew up on, who are a huge part of my infrastructure musically, And so I think it's such a, when I think about, and you're playing, I've loved your music for so long. When you have a song, so I like it all, but when you have a song, like if you could only see, what is it like riding the momentum of that? Because again, I think it's the most played song. Is it 97?
96 and 97. Most played.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and it's nuts. It's nuts.
What is that like?
I don't remember some of it. I don't remember some of it.
Yeah.
Just from sheer exhaustion. We joke about that. That first record, I was only home for 20 days in 2.5 years.
Say that again.
I was home for 20 days in 2.5 years.
That's
Holy
crazy.
2.5 years?
Yeah, and I remember being in
Emerson.
We were shooting, I'll try to make it as short as possible, but it's connected to If You Can Only See because we were riding on the success of that.
Yeah.
So we're 2 and change in on touring. Went from Australia. We did 2 weeks in Australia, and then we flew to France. We were going to do a week of shows in Paris at a club called Chesterfields, which was a lovely place.
That's the least French name I can possibly think of.
And if you say it, Chesterfield.
Chesterfield? Tonic.
No, it's like Los Estados Unidos y Coca-Cola y Tonic.
Toby Keith.
Yeah. So we flew to Paris to do this week of shows. We were still riding on, if you can only see, this is 2 years in.
Jeez Louise.
And I had gotten a really bad flu. I was really sick. And we had to shoot a video for Soldier's Daughter because that was going to be the next European single.
What a song.
Thank you.
What a song.
And so we do these shows in Paris. I keep getting sicker and more sick and more sick and more sick.
Being sick on the road is the
and they just
worst.
keep giving me shots, like trying
Tequila,
to keep me going.
Yeah,
no, like
whiskey.
Whatever kind of drug it was. They were giving me I called it the Pink Floyd moment, like at the end there. And I was just exhausted, but my body just was not able to catch up and recuperate. So we're going to go to London the next morning to shoot a video for Soldier's Daughter.
Jeez.
And so we are walking back from the club. I am so ill out of it. There's I remember this horrible car crash. We weren't in it. And walking back to the hotel, going to London on the tunnel the next morning, we realized the car crash we had seen was Princess Diana's car crash.
No, wow. Emerson.
Yeah, so we were walking over that bridge to get back to the hotel. We had no idea. It was 4 a.m, 3 a.m.
You are kidding me.
No. So we get off on the train in London.
What time had that crash happened? Do you know?
It was 3 a.m. It was late.
You mean y'all literally... Did you see the car?
No, we had just seen it happen. We smelled the smoke. It's over a bridge, like you walk over the bridge.
Yeah. That is one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, so we get to London the next morning, and it is just horrifying. People crying in the streets, flowers everywhere, confusion.
Wow. Because of the show? Y'all's show?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. Yeah. So Kevin,
which is a typical show for us.
That's just another Thursday night for Tonic.
Look, Morrissey has his fans, we have ours. And
speaking of sad sack.
So yeah, exactly. So we get to the video shoot. I'm like, is this even happening? Like, are we doing this?
And that big of a deal.
Kevin Codley from Codley and Cream was the director on the video, and he was like, of course, he was a very anti-Diana person, and so we are just around all this sadness, and we finished the video shoot. I went back to the hotel room, and I looked in the mirror, and I didn't know who I was.
Jeez Louise.
Like, my body just went, you're done.
Wow.
And I couldn't leave the room. I didn't want to put clothes on. Like, I could not function. And eventually, they sent somebody up. And
did you have a show that night, or was it just?
Yeah, that was
in London.
Of only 3 shows I've ever canceled in my career, we were supposed to go to Sweden to do a show, and the next morning, and I could not. I was literally just couldn't function. So I don't even remember what happened. I remember getting more medicine. They put me on a plane, and I woke up in Los Angeles in my bed, in a house that I had bought that I had probably been in once. And my
you just got there.
I just appeared there. I don't remember the flight. I don't remember anything. And I had been asleep for 3 days.
That is crazy.
No idea. I had no memory of it whatsoever. My girlfriend at the time was like, you got to take a break.
Yeah.
Or you're going to die.
Yeah.
So when you think back during that time,
Jeez,
I mean,
Louise.
90s.
Oh my God.
That's kind of like, it reminds me, it's sort of like a tale as old as time when someone has so much success, you just you drive it into the ground as much as you can until something like whatever version of that happens, where you look at yourself in the mirror and your body's just like, we're done. Well, like when you think back at that time, not at all to place blame or whatever, but are you was I the driver of that? Was the label the driver of that? You know what I mean?
I think it was a bad marriage on both parts. I mean, I think the label had no concern about my mental health, zero concern about it. And I became a machine of must win. like looking sideways. Why is this happening? Why are we not getting this? Why is it me?
Listen, everybody, New Year's is around the corner, and the new year is always a chance to start afresh. It gives us that feeling of like hope and energy, and like you're gonna do that thing that you were planning on doing. You're gonna start that business or whatever, and then you're like, well, how do I even get started? What's the first? How do I set up a website? How do I take payments? All that kind of stuff. It can be overwhelming, but here's how you do it. You go to Shopify. Here's the thing. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. You get all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. And hey, if millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, you can do it too. Setup is so fast and easy with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines, email and social campaigns too. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/dadville. Go to shopify.com/dadville. I'm going to say it one more time. That's shopify.com/dadville. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Dave.
Yeah, wake up.
Okay. Oh,
are you there?
Yeah. Well, I heard you come in the front door because the alarm went off.
I know. I don't know the code.
Oh.
I thought we'd be close enough for me to know it by now. But hey, what are you doing anyway?
I was reading my NIV. I wasn't. I was thinking about reading it, for being honest.
Okay. Well, listen, because I was going to say this is why I came over.
Yeah.
Featuring. Listen to my pitch. It's going to start a little clunky, but featuring thousands of study notes drawn from the best-selling NIV application commentary series. The NIV Application Bible helps you understand Scripture and apply it to your modern life.
No, you landed it, John. John, I love the way the NIV Application Bible pairs a deeper understanding of the ancient biblical text with contemporary applications of the lessons found within it.
Well, listen, Dave, I think so too. Aww. You know, it gives a new way to understand the Bible and what it means for your life today.
Yeah, here's what you find inside.
Tell me.
Original meaning notes that help you understand each page in its context.
That's right. Okay, how about application notes, right? That help you integrate the teachings of the Bible into your daily life. Or questions for growth, right? In each chapter of the Bible, they encourage reflection and how to apply Scripture to life.
And don't forget people to know to explore the lives of Bible characters.
Yeah, and you can save an additional 10% on any NIV Application Bible and NIV Application Commentary resource by visiting faithgateway.com/NIVAB and using the promo code DADVILLE.
That's faithgateway.com/NIVAB and promo code DADVILLE for an extra 10% off. Also, how did Annie not wake up this whole time? We've been pretty loud.
Oh, she left hours ago with her Bible.
Oh.
Yeah. And what was the motivation? Was it like because you felt like this is our lightning in a bottle? If we say no to any opportunity, it's going to go away.
It's going to go away immediately.
Yeah.
This is your only chance, kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is your only chance. And is that or is that not our programming?
Yeah.
Right.
That's in us, especially as artists. It's like, nope, this is it. This is what you get.
Yeah.
And so if you're all of a sudden on this train, you can't say no. And that cost a lot of people their lives.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I didn't have a scorching drug addiction. I would have died. There's no way I would have survived.
How long did it take you? So you have these 3 days where you sleep. Do you remember kind of like, was it like a month? Was it like 2 weeks, 5 days? Like how long before you kind of felt like, I think I'm maybe a little bit of myself again?
No, I have no memory of that. That whole couple months of my life is
a couple of months.
It's a total dust show. Like I don't remember most of it. I just remember having to start working on after it was probably a couple months, and then the label was like, "Hey, you kind of got to get back to work." Like, I had already had Sugar in the Works. So I think it was probably halfway through writing that.
What a song!
Thank you.
We could do a whole podcast on that song.
But
Continue.
so I got healthy as I could and pressed on, and and I made the good choice to go make a record in New Orleans. There's no partying in New Orleans, so I went down there and
wait, who did y'all do that with?
Quiet.
Was that Bob Rock y'all did that with?
no, that was self-produced. That one.
Oh,
second.
y'all did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Andy Wallace mixed it.
Okay.
Who did Grace?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, geez, come on.
So what was the reapproach like, or what was the mentality when you kind of like got back on the train? Were you like, I'm just going to get back on this train, or were you like, we got to rearrange our approach, or what?
I got back on the train with the very specific thought in my brain that I needed to just remain healthy.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Eat better. Try to sleep when you can. I mean, now I sleep like, I get on a plane, I wear a mask not because of germs. I wear a mask because my mouth is open.
Right.
Within 5 minutes, I'm like, I'm like, these poor people sitting next to me.
Yeah.
You've converted your bedroom into what looks like a plane because you sleep better.
Pretty much. It's like an old 747, which is weird because there's like they bring like a whole thing of meat down in the middle, and she's wearing a miniskirt.
There's cigarettes.
Yeah,
Wait,
cigarettes
I've
everywhere.
had this dream before.
Yeah, well, we were there. We had cocktails.
Well, and you had like that fear of like, I cannot say no to anything.
Which I still had.
What was it like now?
Yeah.
You wake up in LA and your body has said no for you.
Right. And I also, that was right about the time where I decided to move to Nashville.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
I was like, I have to get out of Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that was part of the reason. Like when I lived in New York City growing up where I grew up, I picked up some bad party habits and I was like, I got to leave New York.
Yeah.
And that was a defining moment in my life. So I went to LA. I was in LA for 10 years. I had a nervous breakdown, too much partying, whatever it was, but not like inappropriate partying. And then I was like, no, I have to change my life and, and move to Nashville. And everything, I mean, you remember what Nashville was in 2000. It was like Mayberry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do you think Nashville still has that, some semblance of that reputation with comparison to LA? You think there are people still leaving LA being like, I need to go someplace quieter and simpler?
So. I think so. I mean, I think people are leaving LA right now just because it's just broken. Like LA is so broken right now, just the way that everything operates out there, and like stores are boarded up. Like it hurts my heart because I love Los Angeles. It was such a huge part of my youth. And when I drive there, I went out there to do a rehearsal for this ERH stuff, and like some of my favorite bars are just like the stores next to them are boarded up, and I'm like, what on Fairfax? Like,
Yeah.
It's like that's awful. But yeah, I think it still holds that. And Nashville still has its... My daughter got a flat tire the other day. She called me on her way to school at 6 a.m, and she was leaving the house. And she said, Dad, I got a flat tire, and it's raining. And you're like, can you come help me change it? And I was like, absolutely. I'll get you there. I'll make sure you get on your way. And it was real close to the house. But so I pull up, and I put my hazards on. And... within 5 minutes, like one old timer from this house and another guy from this house came out. I was like, y'all okay? Do you need help? That's where Nashville still exists.
Yeah.
Because there's just a certain amount of social peanut butter that keeps that sandwich always together.
That's
you know what I'm saying? It's
of course, those guys were like, are you Emerson? I got a chorus I've been working on.
Never been able to finish it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a pitch guy, but
my brother used to work with Ricky Van Shelton. Did some of his lighting for 2 of his shows down in Mississippi, and so I don't know if you remember him.
I don't know if you got my tape or not, but
oh my gosh. So this is so now you've been here 25 years. Watch me do this transition, and if you so now you have 18-year-old daughter. You have these 2 5 and unders. I mean, what is that like? Because here's what's crazy. Like, I hadn't seen you in a minute. And the next thing I know, on social media, you have these kids. Like,
it's true.
I feel like I missed something in there. Like,
the first thing I think of when I think of, when we have friends of ours that are around our age having kids now, I immediately just think the listener can't see, but I'm standing up and like slightly bending over like this.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be in this position for the next 3 years.
A lot of lumbar action.
Yeah,
that's the
first
back,
thing I think of.
A lot of lower back.
A lot of lower back.
And I think that's fair to think that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I wouldn't change it for anything. Like, I love being a dad.
Yeah.
My dad was not great. And so the fact that I've been given this chance in life to do it right,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
is such a blessing and a gift. And, you know, if I had sold 12 million records, I'd have as many kids as I wanted. Like, I love kids. I love them. All that is to say, yeah, I'm real tired, man. I mean, like, I'm tired. And that's just the nature of... That's just the nature of it. And it also is an interesting thing in the way that when I bring my son, you know, to either one of my sons, like one's just starting kindergarten, to school, and like, you know, a lot of these moms and dads they're younger folks, and I'm walking in and I'm like, no, I'm not Pawpaw.
Yeah.
These are my kids. You know, granted, I don't look like I'm 80, but But so I have to also navigate that social thing at parties when, you know, when you have somebody come out to a birthday party for your kids, and they're all like, and they're like, oh, wait, what do you do for, oh, wait, are you, oh, man, my mom. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Put your finger on your nose. There it is.
There it is.
And that's fine, you know. Some of it's like that. That's a rare occurrence, but when it does happen, I always laugh at my wife and I chuckle about it.
Yeah.
But it really does. You know, people are like, it'll keep you young, and it kind of really does. Like I stay super active, and I just love watching the way their brains operate, and boys being different, because I had a whole 18-year run with my daughter, how I could sit her down and we'd be talking about whatever, and she'd color for 2 hours. And my son's like, you know, walking into the room with 2 knives, being like, where did you find these? Like, what are you doing? You know, he has a tomato in his mouth and 2 sharp knives. I'm like, how did this happen? They were like locked away. But boys are just...
I'm pretty sure that's how wars started in Italy in like the 1300s. Was that exact same scene?
They're all tomato
based. 2 knives.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. My youngest, my 3-year-old, will literally eat a tomato like an apple.
Wow.
He'll grab it and just start eating it, and just whatever he's wearing, you know.
Messy.
And
I
can leave the room to take the stuff from the washer and put it into the dryer. Yeah. This is a 45-second it's an under a minute task. And I come back and the room is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, literally, it can happen that fast.
And you have 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them. And thankfully, one is like a hockey player, my youngest one, and the other one is like David Bowie, so real kind of lithy and doesn't like, I'm not hungry, I'll just have some air. And then my youngest one is like, I don't understand, I will eat your shoe if you do not give me. You know, it doesn't matter.
That is such a good summation of this person.
Just have some air.
Well, how are you alive? Like, I look at him like, you're such a beautiful child.
Yeah.
And you're like,
what are you running on?
What are you running on? How is this happening?
So tell me this. I mean, this is such low-hanging fruit questions, but like, you know, what is the difference in Emerson, you know, 18 years ago and how he parented to now and how you think about parenting?
I think I really understand the importance of in-the-moment presence, which I don't think I was still, you know, in my late 30s being with career and stuff like that, and like going to Iraq during the war to play for the troops, like stuff I would have never done. I would never do that now. I just wouldn't do it. And I have a great relationship with my daughter. She's one of my best friends. I'm still her dad. Don't get me wrong. We don't always agree, but this is the thing that I love. I love being in the moment, and I get caught myself. I have to catch myself, and it's the damn phones again. It's like I'll pick it up and I'll start reading something, and my son's like talking to me, and I'm realizing, what are you doing? Put your phone down. Just this is going to be gone in 3 minutes. So that way, I do appreciate that. I think Emerson, old dad Emerson to new old dad Emerson is understanding that I really have to just always be present in that moment, and that's great. And because my wife's work, like, you know, she'll work 4 on and then be off for a week, and you know, so I'm doing a lot of dad stuff. And man, it's great. It is great. It's exhausting, but it's so great, you know, that I get to do that. You know,
do you find yourself worrying about the same things?
That's a great question.
That you did back on that first round?
No, I don't. I think because I think a lot of the things I used to worry about just didn't happen.
Yeah. God, that's
so. And you know, I give a little bit longer leash with my boys now about stuff. Like my wife would be like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that." I was like, "No, he's not unsafe. Let him figure it out."
Yeah.
Because I was always a super helper. Like, let me help you. Let me help you. You know, let me help you. You know, and now I've really with them. I just don't worry about it. I just let things kind of come and fall as they may.
Yeah.
Not unsafe. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, I'm not like, here, take these binoculars. Go find the man in the sun. Like I'm not that dad. But it's you know, I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm a little calmer. Things don't upset me as much anymore. The only thing that upsets me that I cannot seem to get past, and this is my Achilles heel, is the letting them do it themselves when it comes to car seats or stuff like that, where it's raining and I'm standing there and he's like, "No, let me do it myself." And I'm like, "Okay."
Just getting drenched.
No. Just sitting there letting him figure it out. And
deep breaths.
And that's what it is. It's like, okay, well, yeah.
That's all you can do.
This is. But when I don't have my phone, we're outside collecting sticks. We're building a fire. You know, I've got like 6 acres and a nice old house, and we're not saying anything. I just hear them laughing, and they're just picking stuff up and, you know, just pushing each other down. I think if we were lucky enough when we leave this planet to have these moments, you know, I always think about those moments we have with our children. What are going to be our top 5 things that we think about before we leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what that is, like those peaceful moments, worth every bit of it.
Amen.
100%.
What does it look like now, you know, with the boys and your job? Like, where are you now, how those things intersect and how you think about them?
Well, I think Benjamin thinks I fly airplanes for a living. I'm not sure how. I think it's just sheerly because he's like, no, Daddy's got to get on the airplane because on the weekends I go on the airplane.
Yeah. Right.
And he doesn't really understand that.
Yeah.
So he'll see pictures of airplanes and be like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "No, not me. If I keep eating, I will be that big, but that's not me." Liam is starting to grasp a little bit more about what I do for a living, only from if a song comes on the radio and I'll, you know, Heather be like, "Oh, that's Daddy," and be like, "Wait, you do this for a living?"
He's like, "How do you do that and fly planes?"
Right. Benjamin, you're a terrible pilot. You only fly once a week. You know, so I think that'll be interesting. And they've seen me on stage. Ben, like I got up with Kevin at Pilgrimage a couple weeks ago, whenever that was. And Ben kind of looked at me doing it, and I looked at his face. He was like, "Oh, wait, like what is he singing?" And like, because we love to sing in the car, you know, it's all the greatest hits. And he just kind of looked at me like, "Oh, wait, maybe he isn't a pilot. Like maybe this is something else that kind of..."
He's a song pilot.
Yeah, he's a song navigating the song. 30,000 feet above any good ideas. So what, you know, it's cool. It's cool. If they want to do that as a job, you know, we'll see. The proof is in the pudding. We'll see what happens. But I'm all about I think the thing I got most excited about this past month, and it sounds terrible, was like Home Depot is offering, and I know this is not a Home Depot endorsing.
I'm already in. I'm interested.
But they are endorsing, you can come there on the weekends and get certified in HVAC, plumbing, and electrical.
What?
You can get a state certification. It costs you no money. And I was like, well, heck, I got some weekends free here and there.
Yeah.
But like, is that the future? I think I always tell Heather, you know, my wife is extremely educated And I draw great pictures in my house.
Do you know how many ways you can shape a G chord, honey?
Yeah, I mean, really. I changed "and" to "the." I'm glad you saved that guy's life, but let's really get to the meat of it. But like our children, like if my sons want to be plumbers, I'm all in.
Yeah.
They want to be electricians, I'm all in.
That's right.
They want to play music, that's fine. I'll support it as long as they're happy. I don't want those rules on them, but I've gone off topic.
What was your relationship like? I guess this would more be with your daughter because your sons are so young and they're just starting. The older one's just getting into kindergarten. But I find for me, I mean, for all three of us, we could have flunked every class growing up. It wouldn't have changed the trajectory probably of our careers. Yeah. No one's checked my transcript ever. So with my daughters, they're in 7th and 5th now. I find it's an interesting sort of dynamic with grades and with school and academics because there's a part of me that sort of just snaps to like, well, you get through it and it doesn't really matter. And then we have, friends of ours who, have real jobs and real degrees that actually meant something, and they're on their kids and they maybe went to a different school for the academic track. And there's part of me that's like, I don't want to drop the ball on this just because I'm too myopically thinking about my own experience. And then when my daughters, get rejected from every community college they applied for, and they're like, why didn't you tell us to study more or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, what was your angle on that?
I mean, I think with Lucy, her mom was always, real like zoning, like she did public, she went to Julia Green and, and now she's going to graduate from Hume Fogg this year, which is the *1 skate school in the state of Tennessee.
Incredible.
And it's public downtown, great school. We've always been big fans of public school systems. Yeah. I just feel like it's what we should be focused on, putting our money into and supporting. Whatever the tax is, I don't care. It just that's important. Yeah. But I think that I think your child lets you know, right, John? Yeah. I mean, like they let you know what they're going to do, and it becomes pretty obvious by 15, 16, but I will say this, most of my friends who are much wealthier than me are just like, dude, until freshman, sophomore year in high school, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Don't spend $385,000 on an education. Because it won't. All you're doing is just setting them up to be, if it's your goal that they run in that friend group, then that's your goal.
Right, yeah.
I get that. Yeah. Like, that's your goal. Yeah. I don't like that goal because I grew up around a lot of those kids who were just not good people. Just because they were loaded didn't make them good people, man.
Yeah. It is funny you say that, John, because I feel the same with our kids in education. I am so I undervalue it so much because I think I'm like, one, I get a little too like, I can get a little too like God's will is going to happen no matter what, and really, because I look at my life and I'm like, I should not be doing this. Yeah. There's nothing about my life that you would have read if my life is a movie and you're watching Dave Barnes up until 15. You're like, oh, he's going to be like a youth minister somewhere. And then all of a sudden God's like, right, guitar, it's like, and scene. And so I just tend to be like, man, God has got this way of getting us where we need to be, and it's really fun and crazy. And so, sure, to school, it mattered. And being in the context of people in college was huge because that's where I kind of started getting into music and all that kind of stuff. But again, like, I can't point to really any academic thing that got me to where I am. Right. Whereas Annie, thank God, and I'm sure Heather's like, Stu, but like, thank God that she is like, no, Dave, you can't, that's not, no.
Right. No, that's the balance.
They need to do their homework.
Yeah,
they should study and be good in school.
You don't end up being a trauma surgeon at Vanderbilt.
Exactly.
By just kind of...
Or a pharmacist with any. And so it's like, I am so thankful because I get mad at myself at how much like, I figured it out. What's it matter? Like, just, it'll be fine. Now, high school, obviously, that's a different thing because, with Lucy, it's like, that's where grades start to really matter, because if they want to go to college, the transcript really matters.
Yeah.
But I can really struggle with being the one who just wildly undervalues those things, because I'm like, look at me, babe. It's like,
You checked out my shack?
I don't know. I don't know what the capital of Chile is. Like,
Chili fries. I don't. I'll try to do my best to make sure that my children can be good people.
Yeah.
Right.
And
first and foremost,
my wife, being a nurse practitioner, educated, and a brainiac, and loves it. Like really loves it.
Yeah.
She is that balance. I will be the other side of it, which is like, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Are you excited about it? But isn't that the balance of how we're designed?
That's exactly right.
I think that's
exactly right.
And that's okay. And that's why we get married. That's why we have
exactly
children.
Right.
That's why we, do these things, is have that balance. And I hope that my smarts in certain ways, I hope I can put that to my children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my wife's smarts will definitely probably benefit them better.
Like, fast forward to one of your boys, like 20 years from now, somewhere he's like, sorry, do you know why they recorded the drum track that way? This is a trip. So they didn't have the mics they needed. And, you're up in heaven smiling like, look, he listened.
I did a good thing, right? That's great. Okay, Daddy, you can turn the channel for him if you'd want.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so before we release you to the wild, we have a lightning round, by the way. You need to buckle up for that.
Okay.
Tell us, because you have shows coming up with Ezra Hart.
I do.
You have 30 shows.
30 shows.
So this is is this kind of the new thing that's happening we want to push to make everybody know?
I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just one more thing that is fun to do in my career. And Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, Kevin Griffin from the
just legends.
But all of us friends for many years, but never really we got to a point where it's like, let's do some fun corporate stuff. Like where it's just 75 minutes of all of our hits and songs in the 90s that our bands would never let us play.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so we go out there and we do that. I mean, you'll hear tub thumping. Like, we'll do it because it's
he drinks
fun.
a lager drink.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because why not? And everybody has a good time. So we just thought, look, it's that if we're going to do this in the way that it's, I don't like to use it with like hard ticket, but in that way, go out and do it as the brand, as we slowly build this thing, the year 2000's Damn Yankees is kind of what it is, in the way that if anybody remembers that reference, you can get your walker. But
all I can think of is, can you take me out?
Yeah, I think we'll stick to the tone that sold 16 million records.
Gosh,
thanks.
please.
So we wanted to do something during the holidays, because that's a downtime for everybody.
Yeah.
We're not out there, doing crush casino work. So we're just going to do some of our favorite Christmas stuff in there. We're going to have some trees on stage.
That's so fun.
It's going to be telling stories, but it's 75 to 90 minutes of hits from the 90s that we have either written or that we love.
Oh, I love it.
Which the three of y'all, that's a lot.
Yeah,
of those.
that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Mark alone, just what I've learned in my friendship and brotherhood with Mark, he is such an amazingly intelligent, caring guy, and one hell of a dad as well.
Yeah.
Side note.
That's great.
You need to get him on, because his being a parent, and because he was kind of a parent later in life too, and he's such a great dad, and just focused on his people, really loyal, loving, fun, but also, king of the fishbowl. We can't go anywhere. We walk in an airport and he's just like here comes everybody coming over to see Mark McGrath. And in the 90s, your mom, your sister, I was with my mom and you were it's always something. And Mark just gracefully just
Do you know
embraces.
One of the funniest things? I have such a specific memory about this. He was on, I think MTV or VH1 did a show where it was like a music trivia
Rock and
show.
Roll Jeopardy.
Is that
what it was?
It's like 5 years champs.
This.
5 year champ. Nothing he doesn't know.
So
It was
Edwin was
insane.
on the show.
Yes.
And I will never forget this quote. Mark, I think, answered every question.
Yeah.
And Edwin at one point turns to him and he says, how am I supposed to compete with him? He's got the GNP of Brazil up here. I mean, he had some insane amount of money.
Right. And that was not, I don't think at that point that wasn't sober. That wasn't sober Edwin, which was a totally different Edwin.
But it's just like, I think that was one of the things that I love sort of learning about Mark is how smart he is. Because I think it's easy to see Sugar Ray in a video and think like, oh, I know how these guys are.
It's a party band.
It's a party band.
Yeah.
But then you realize like, God, this guy's insanely articulate and very
an encyclopedia of music.
Wicked smart. I mean, I can be like, I can call out a record and he'll be like, nope, you're wrong. That was not the producer. The producer on that record was blah, blah, blah. I'm
unbelievable.
Like, okay, Rain Man. Like, I mean, he'll just, he pulls it, he runs down to the basement, comes right back up, and he's like, here it is. He shows it to you, puts it right in your face, and he's right every time. I've never seen him be wrong.
He would be great in like those trivia nights at like a pub or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. You'd make a fortune.
Yeah.
You'd make a fortune if you bet on that guy. I mean, like, he always does it. But all that is to say, we do it because it is an absolute joy.
That's so fun.
To do
I
it.
love that.
And like we were talking about earlier, at our age, man, if it doesn't give you joy,
amen.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Amen.
I mean, all of us have to make a living playing. You know, we all have to sing for our supper to a certain extent, and we know that. Mm-hmm. But really, if it's not bringing you joy, don't do it.
Yeah.
So we go out and we do it because it's fun, and it just helps people kind of reconnect to that fun thing.
Yeah.
When you see a guy who's been working in HR for 28 years and he's just out there in a corporate show, like burning it down, that makes my heart feel so good.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, my man, let's do a shot and finish this thing out. This is your night. Let's do this.
As you throw it over your shoulder, though.
Right. A lot of dead plants all over the country. I've killed so many plants. Just whoop.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Okay, so lightning round. Emerson, buckle up.
Dave, I actually don't have it. Do you want to send me the?
I'm just going to do all of them on. Okay, I'll start. This is a fan favorite, but it's just too good to not do. You can have dinner. You know it's coming with 4 people. Alive or dead, who are they?
I would love to have dinner with my father, who died when I was 10. I would love to have dinner with him and just kind of pick his brain because I don't remember a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that'd be my number 1 choice. Number 2, everybody probably says it, but Abraham Lincoln. I would love to know.
Who else? Somebody said Abe in the last.
I forget who it was.
Yeah,
the amount
amazing.
of dinners that guy.
God,
he's got a full calendar, but to see how far he pushed the Constitution and got away with it, and also just the amount of toll it took on him as a human being, I would really love to pick his brain. Third, I would love to see what an Henry VIII was. Wow. I mean, could you imagine having dinner with that guy?
No.
Yeah.
And like,
he's like, why are y'all eating too?
I mean, but
why aren't you bowing? Why am I seeing your face?
Completely from a child, the way he grew up, being really the last of the Tudors, and to watch how he pretty much went against the biggest and only church in the world at that point. I mean, just to get that side of it.
Yeah.
Just to get that side of it, I would love to see the birth of the Anglican Church.
I mean,
that's not a 5-minute conversation.
He really wanted to get divorced.
I mean, dude, this is
how
like
bad.
That's
do you
like
not like your wife.
That's like walking up to Putin and spitting in his face. Pretty much at that point in history, like you'd be dead. You'd fall out of a window, to do that as a king. So he'd be my third, and then probably my fourth would be dinner with like one of my ancestors from a long time ago, John Alden, who came over on the Mayflower. I would love to sit down with him and say,
wait, that's one of your relatives?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my family's been here since 1620.
Wait, they came over on the Mayflower?
Yeah, John and Priscilla Alden.
You're just dropping that in The Princess Die like it's nothing.
Well, I mean, it's not really something I talk about, Like,
hey guys, we're Tonic. Quick FYI, just fun fact about me: had ancestors on the Mayflower. Here we go.
How do you like my banjo? But I would love to see what they endured to raise 13 children, all of them to survive, which is why there are so many descendants of the Aldens. Hemingway, the Bush family, everybody comes from the Aldens. Like, they were the most prolific of that line. And on my mother's side, I'm also a Warren. She was Richard Warren, who was also in the Mayflower. But
jeez Louise.
But a lot of people are.
You're like walking America.
Well, no, you might be it, and you just don't know. You just got to do the...
Pretty sure one of mine swam half of it and then found a piece of lumber, and then God was like, we just got to make the tides work, man. Here we go.
How do you feel about the Bahamas?
Good enough?
Sounds great. I'm going to need some sunblock.
A lot.
But yeah, so I think I'd like to sit down and have dinner with them, because
that's amazing.
What there's a certain amount of that is amazing, but also how their brains work. Like, we weren't so great to witches in the late 1600s in my family. Like,
so was that era.
All of that. Like, so like being a pilgrim, what did that mean spiritually for you? I mean,
I know.
I mean, my people sat on those
in PA. Yeah,
not great.
Yeah,
not great. We did not make some good choices.
Yeah.
So I'd like that. Those are my four.
That's
probably.
good.
Those are great.
Those are very
Those are the most thoughtful.
I was going to say
ever
most articulate
had.
for sure.
Well, okay. Who else would you dine with? I mean, like,
we get a lot of Shaq. No,
mostly Shaq, Lincoln and Shaq.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a tall theme.
Two tall ballers. Yeah, two tall ballers. That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, if you could go back to the 90s, I think I remember this one, and be in any other band, you have to go back and be in a different band. What's the band that you would choose?
STP, 100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Yeah. 100%. Because I feel like...
And you would play what? You'd be the front man? You'd be the drummer?
Yeah, I would be Scott. Yeah. I would love to be Scott. Just to play that part.
Yeah.
You know what's great? Y'all's music is like this too. I randomly did a deep dive on them probably like 6 months ago, where I was like, I'm going to just kind of go through that catalog again. And it is one of my favorite things to do as a late 40s artist musician, because I just know a lot more about music now. Like, my ear training is a lot better after just having done this for long. And there's nothing I love more than listening to music I grew up with and going, whoa, that's a lot more complex than I thought it was. Oh, and man, their catalog, like, one, I think, here's my quick plug for STV. The individual talent of each of those band members is through the frickin' roof. Their bass player, I think Beato sat with him, and just hearing him be like, well, that song started as a bossa nova. Give me that guitar.
Robert's talent level is...
It's insane.
It's insane. And he's like one of my dear friends. And you could hand that guy a piece of wood and a string.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, that's so funny, If you look at Bach this way, like he's just... But both of the brothers are talented.
Incredible.
Really, Robert is... the engine.
So I think it's like you think of the band. Two, the music is just unbelievably great, and then obviously Scott. And so it was fun doing a deep dive on them, because I knew the music, but I don't know that I knew it as well as I thought I did. What a band! What a band!
And overlooked many ways. Overlooked during that time, because Pearl Jam and that whole scene of Seattle was, and I'm not taking away from it. It's amazing. I mean, those Pearl Jam records, those Soundgarden records were
good gracious,
so great, But there was a pop rock but heavy, smart sensibility about STP that everybody realizes now.
Yes,
it's happening now. My daughter is a huge STP fan.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's insane to me. And I'm like, really? She's like, listen to how great this is. I was like, yeah, it's great. There's no meandering. It's right to the point.
I could sit here and think about that for. Okay, what's one song any era? What's one song you wish you wrote?
Wichita Lineman, hands down.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've answered that before. You knew you were ready.
Well, it's one of my favorite songs as a child. I remember hearing it so much when I was a kid. Do you ever look at that lyric?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, dude, it's insane. Even though Glenn didn't write it, the vocal, like I don't. Sure, I could say a Beatles song. I could say all that, but there's something that is so inherently Americana about that song, and it is a unique experience. You can't write that song and live in England.
Yeah, that's well said.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter anywhere else in the world. That is a song that belongs to us.
Yeah, that's
and it's
great.
Not. It's not a bro country thing. It's not a market placement thing. It's just Jimmy Webb being awesome.
Jeez.
And Glenn Campbell delivering an insane vocal.
Yeah.
Sad, but hopeful.
And don't sleep on Glenn's guitar playing.
What? Dude, forget about...
I didn't really know that.
Dude, Roy Clark and Glenn Campbell, like those two guys, they were some of the greatest guitar players on the planet that nobody ever really talks about. Maybe they do in country. I don't know. I'm not really in that world.
Yeah.
But, quick picking and fun strumming. I mean, ain't no joke. I mean, that was my first guitar book, was a Roy Clark South.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel Bay? Nope. Yeah. Roy Clark? Yes.
Explains so much.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
Okay, you can play only one of your songs for your kids. Which one?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Man, only one of my songs for my children.
This is a nightmare question.
It really is. My feet are on fire. There's a song I wrote called "Don't Forget Yourself," which was on Beauty and Disrepair. Aaron McCarley actually did the backgrounds on it.
Oh, wow.
I would sing that for them.
Yeah.
That's
great.
Because the lyric is exactly what that is. Like, no matter what you do in this life, do not forget. You are one being. You don't have to follow anything else.
Yeah.
You always just have to follow that truth. Keep going forward.
Yeah,
probably.
Right.
I don't want to play it like kids don't want to hear hit songs, Dave. Come on.
Let me tell you what the kids don't want these days.
They don't want it. They want something deep. They want to feel something.
They want to feel. They want to feel. Okay. Golly, who is that guy in my brain? I'm so scared of him. Dave, come in for a second. I want to tell you something. That's the guy with the leather jacket that smells like
that's
smoke.
him.
That's him.
Yeah. I'm just hugging him from behind while he's talking to you.
You strangely smell like olives, Dave. Why do you smell like olives?
Anyway, sit down. Tell me more about you. Let me tell you about me. Okay, last question. If you wrote a book on being a father, what would it be called?
If I wrote a book about being a father, what would it be called? Always Be Present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that sounds a little soft, but it really what it is. Just, or it's either always be present, or I'll always be there. But you can't always be there, so it's really it's always be present.
When you're there,
when you're there, be there. Let's call it that.
There we go.
That's what it is.
Get out of here.
When you're there, be
workshop.
there.
Suck that, Chat GPT. Can't do that, can you? Well, dude, we love you. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for hanging.
No, dude, thanks for having me.